Are we on? Maybe we are. Let's just get going in case we are. All right, let's bring in everybody else. State budget, 100 days late. And let's get everybody else in here who's covering this today. So here we go. Andrew Klein is here. We have Grace Ruffalo as well, I believe. If not, we'll just hash this out, Andrew. So 100 days late. I got a number of things to say what I've been covering today, but I want to get to your angles on this because this is about what happens here or at the State House. But we're also wondering what this does to people that are expecting that money because a couple of weeks late, they wait for it, they figure it's coming. Once it gets towards this number, it gets a lot harder. So tell me what you're seeing out there.
Yeah, so I spoke to a couple of county commissioners today. So, one of the things that I was hearing was that there are a number of services, in Dauphin County specifically, it was the Human Services Department that is, taking a big hit. There's a number of different departments that the county will pay for and then will be reimbursed by the state. That's not happening right now with the budget situation. So that's causing issues for a county like Dauphin County. And Commissioner Douglas he explained it very interesting, the way things are happening. What he told me is right now, the county is at about $300,000 of lost revenue. So what they're doing is they're borrowing from a savings account. That savings account is making interest. And so they're pulling from that account that is supposed to be making interest, and that's where the money is coming from to fund these different things. So they're not making interest right now out of that money that they need to go towards those future services. And right now the county is okay, but it could lead to issues down the line because that money is not infinite. There is a finite amount in that account. Obviously, it grows money as it stays in there, but it's not doing that.
Right. So what happens first then? What kind of services are they looking at? They still are getting by now by dipping into other finances and some, savings accounts, like you said. But what could be affected next? Is it jobs? Is it services? What did he say?
Yeah, I mean, it could be a number of different things. Services was the big one that we spoke about when we in terms of what he is very aware of. He said I asked him about schools. He said the county is not the ones who necessarily deals with the schools, but of course we've seen schools being impacted by this budget as well. Another one in Cumberland County, the mental health services are being impacted by this budget. They're not going to be able to provide those services that many people require and need, day in and day out. And of course, there are of course other people not getting paid.
Okay, was he optimistic or just kind of at a loss here? He's one of the newer commissioners.
Yeah, he seemed optimistic. He said from the people that he's spoken with, you got to believe that they're trying to find a compromise. But he also said he understands each side. They each have an agenda and they have to appeal to their constituents, and the budget is a part of that. So, that's why this is a conflict. There are two sides that need to make that compromise. He does say he seems like he thinks it's going to get to that point where they can compromise and create this finalized budget.
Let me tell you, Andrew. Let me tell you, we're not at that point. So after talking to these sides today, Grace Ruffalo is dealing with the House side. I just spoke to the Senate side. It does not feel close at all. Did Commissioner Douglas say, okay, if this goes another few weeks, then this will happen, then that will happen, where we're starting to hit the next level of emergency funding and drastic changes?
He didn't give me any specifics in that regard, but he went into, continue talking about that pool of money that they have making interest that they're pulling from. So that revenue money that they're trying to, as they continue using that money, it's going to be gone eventually if there's no budget to ever put money back in.
Yeah. Okay. Well, stay with me for a second here so I can work off you a little bit. But so I just talked to the Senate side. Once again, Grace is talking to the House of Representatives, which is controlled barely by the Democrats. Senate side is the Republicans. So the Senate, they're saying we didn't even see this new budget that's apparently being talked about by the House of Representatives on the Democratic side. So let's remember, we're dealing with the number from last year was like 47 something billion. The Republicans in the Senate side say, let's go with that number. Let's just rework it a little bit and will be okay because they said there's only 45 billion that came in this year. So already a structural deficit is what they're saying. Republicans say it's a better outlook than that. And if we have to dip into the reserves, we have the money there. This is the time to do that. But they're not even talking to each other to realize what is in the new budget. And so it is 100 days. I've covered these before. The communication seems to be at a real loss right now. And one more thing I'll put in here, talking about the governor, where's his role in this? Republicans criticizing him that he has not been here during this last 3 weeks, 3 days of talks. And he today said that this is the Republicans in the Senate need to get together and get serious and pass a budget. So same talking points we've heard for a while. So I'm glad that the commissioner is optimistic, but walking around these halls, it does not feel that way right now. Andrew, I'll give you the final word.
Right. I mean, look, Commissioner Douglas can only speak to so many people. So I think him having confidence, it's definitely a good thing to walk away from. At least, when I left that interview, it's definitely a good thing to walk away from. But, at the end of the day, he also did bring up that point of these are two different sides that each have their own agenda that they want to get done. So, well,
agenda can be a loaded word. Like it seems like negative at times, But I would say they really believe. A lot of these are good people. They believe they are representing their voters, and their voters on the one side, they don't want them. Either side don't want them to budge. They're saying, this is why we put you there to fight for what we believe, and we represent. You represent what we want, and if that means nothing happens for a while, nothing's happening for a while. So I know we all criticize gridlock, but those might be the people in the middle, the people that are supporting these people and voting for them. This might be exactly what they wanted, is don't give in. At this point, the Senate was saying that maybe there's 3 Republicans that are willing to compromise at this point, and the rest just don't see there's enough there. I asked, how many is enough for a compromise? Is it 5? Is it 10? They said it comes down to the details. So I don't know. We're going to have full coverage of this coming at 5 and 6 o'clock. We'll talk to our political insiders who have been through this before. We have a state senator. We have someone who's worked on the Senate side for many years to see what's really happening in the background. Where are the back channels? Why aren't they talking? When they do talk, what does it sound like? So it's going to be interesting. We go head first into this 100 days. Last thing from you. This is the first big budget you've covered. As an outsider or as a newer journalist, what do you think when you see all this?
I mean, 100 days is 100 days without a budget, and it's one of those things where I think people who are not as deep in it will kind of ask why can't we just compromise? Why isn't it so simple? And I think it's so much deeper of an issue than we can just put aside our differences and both agree on something, because it's politics. So I don't think we're just going to see it like that. But 100 days is 100 days, and it's one of those things where it becomes a question of will this compromise even happen? Is it going to happen anytime soon? It'll be another 100 days. It's already been 100. At this point, what's to say it might not be another 100?
9 months before. We've gone 9 months before. We've done some long ones in the past. This one doesn't look great right now. Just my spidey sense is saying that it's going to be a little bit longer, and these guys are entrenched, and they believe, like I said, they're really representing their people the way they want. All right, we'll leave it at that for now. Thanks for your insight, Andrew. We look forward to your full report at 5 o'clock. For everybody else, tell you what, this is 21 Next. It gives you a feel for where we are from different perspectives, but you're really going to dig into this at 5 o'clock on CBS 21 News. We will see you then. 100 days, still not there on a state budget.